looks like fighters. Struggling to get to his feet. Incredible defense. Unbelievable.
Takes another right. Earns in deep trouble again. Earns it down. Earns it.
You know, you pay him a price, I guess, but the man celebrated never.
What up, fight fans? I'm J.Cotto. Welcome to J.Cotto's Fight Page. And today, I'll be bringing you your boxing news for November the 6th, 2016. And boy, do I have a lot of news for y'all today. Gotta rock to this old school Wu-Tang. Older gods. Yeah. What's up, everybody? I hope everybody enjoyed the fights yesterday. And, of course, we were faced with some bias. We knew some detractors was going to come by, but that does not matter because the detractors not know what they speak. But here's your boxing news, man, for November the 6th, 2016. And I just gotta say, man, well, Brian McIntyre, Bomac, the trainer of Terence Crawford, well, you know, he disappointed me simply because I don't know, I guess he didn't see the Pacquiao fight yesterday, but he came out and said that Manny's ducking Terence Crawford, but yet Manny said that he moved down to 140 pounds. And when asked about fighting Terence Crawford, Manny said, yeah, I go down, it's good for me. 140, I do it. I go down. So, hashtag stop it, Bomac. You know what I mean? You're one hell of a trainer. Don't become like the rest of these biased trainers, and, you know, don't let your heart be full of hate, man. You know, we kind of like your personality, man, and you know, you saying stuff like that is kind of crazy. Now, I will say that he also said that you know, it looked like Manny lost his step. I mean, of course, the man's 38 years old. He's been fighting for like forever. You know what I mean? So that I have to agree with, but it also has to do with his age. But he hasn't lost that much of a step, you know. So Bomac, Brian McIntyre, man, please let this be the last thing that you say. You know what I mean? I mean, we happen to like you. We happen to, you know, we happen to love Terence Crawford, and you know, we just don't want the, you know, that hate-filled, you know, how do you say, misinformation, you know, as to Manny Pacquiao ducking anybody. I mean, you must have him confused with the prize fighter from Vegas. But let's not have this anymore, man. Can we agree? Now, it's in the rumor mill once again. But I think it's going to be definite that Daniel Jacobs and Gennady Golovkin may happen in February. Now, a lot of people are upset at Daniel Jacobs simply because they wanted this fight sooner. Okay? And I can understand that. But of course, the politics have not allowed this fight to happen just yet. So I'm just going to let you sit back for like about 5 seconds just to think about this. Because personally, no matter when this fight goes down, it's going to go down. And it's going to be for hashtag unification. I say that Daniel Jacobs will give Gennady Golovkin a run for his money. And if it happens in February, that'll be great. Now, the fight yesterday with Manny Pacquiao and Jesse Vargas was great. And, well, Jesse Vargas says that Manny had speed, not power. But yet, he sports sunglasses. So, some power had to at least had to be displayed from Manny Pacquiao yesterday. You know, let's not be biased, kid. Let's not do this. You know what I mean? Manny Pacquiao had some power. Now, some people say that the knockdown was somewhat of a slip or something. Nah, that was a straight knockdown. The replay showed it. You know what I mean? Punched the sweat off the kid, and it is what it is. Now, the prize fighter from Vegas attended the Vargas Pacquiao fight, and now it's got a lot of fight fans. I repeat, it has a lot of fight fans with their hopes high as to a May Pac 2. I'll get into that in a little bit, you know. Now, Joel Diaz, former trainer of Timothy Bradley, goes in depth on a possible Cotto Bradley match, and he warns Bradley that Cotto can give him a very bad day at the office, and I have to agree with that. Cotto is not wasted goods. He's, you know, he may be diminished in some ways, but the man can still fight. Let's not take anything away from Cotto. And Bradley, you know, you've been very cocky, and especially in yesterday's broadcast. You know, you were commentating, you were a bit cocky, and we love you. We love you. You tell the truth. But at the same time, understand that if you're gonna fight Miguel Cotto, you've gotta prepare yourself the same way you did with Manny Pacquiao on all 3 fights. Now, Terence Crawford comes forth in an interview and says that he beat the shit out of Danny Garcia. Hashtag let's get it. I agree. Terence Crawford does have the tools to destroy Danny Garcia. Now, even if Danny Garcia was at his best and not cherry picking the way he was or the way he is, Terence Crawford would still beat the pork chops out of him. And that's without a doubt. I hope that this fight comes to fruition sometime in the future. They have a little war going on, and I would love to see Bomac get it on with his mouthpiece with Angel Garcia. You know what I mean? Because I'm more than sure Brian McIntyre will let Angel Garcia know exactly what it is. I'm excited for this. Every time it's mentioned, every time somebody says something about this fight, the hairs on my arms stand up. You know, that would be a very, very good fight, man. Now, Gilberto Ramirez says that he wants to fight Triple G despite of them being good friends. And you know, hey, it is what it is. You know, Timothy Bradley's always talking about how good of a friend he is with Terence Crawford and that he'll never fight him, amongst other fighters having friendships. But when it's time for the throwdown, when it's time to throw them gloves and hands, when it's time to represent your legacy, I think all that has to be put aside. You know what I mean? Friendships in boxing, it has to be put aside, especially if you're high caliber fighters now. You know, fights like this would be good for the sport. It definitely would be good for the sport. I could see in the future a Terence Crawford versus Bradley. Why not? That would be good. That would be excellent. You know, I think that in sparring, what it is that sometimes they show each other that they can be beat, and they just don't want to expose themselves that way. It's just me thinking, though. Now, some are saying, and these are dumb comments and dumb notions, and you can already see the bias and the hate. Some are saying that Jesse Vargas was robbed yesterday. Hashtag stop the hate. Hashtag know your boxing. Hashtag stop the bias. This is ridiculous, utterly ridiculous. And, you know, these are things that we're going to hear. Detractors, we're going to hear this all the time. Simply because they just can't handle the truth. Well, the truth shall be told. Now, let's get back into this May Pac 2. You know, the prize fighter from Vegas attended the Vargas Pacquiao fight, and the Flomo fans, the channels, the reporters went crazy, talking about how many steps he had taken to his car, what his watch looked like, how much he had in his pockets, and how he drove himself to the fight. I mean, it's utterly ridiculous. What's next? How many times he got up to go to the bathroom during the fight? I mean, come on, guys. Stop it. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. The only relevancy that the prize fighter from Vegas has is his promotion. It's promoting now. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody would care less. Real boxing fans would care less if this man was to put on a pair of boxing gloves and try to go for number 50, because we all would know what type of fighter he would go for. Something easy, something cherry-picked. He wouldn't go for a Terence Crawford. He wouldn't go for a Thurman. You know what I mean? He wouldn't go for a young, hungry lion. He'd go to somebody like a Victor Ortiz too, maybe a Canelo too, you know, maybe a Cotto too. You know, but he wouldn't pick young, hungry lions. Just the other day, once again, for like the 45th time, he called out Gennady Golovkin. But now if Gennady Golovkin was to fight him at a catch weight of, let's say, 152, because that's how much he gave up, which was like 5 pounds, 4 pounds for Canelo Alvarez. If he was to do this with Gennady Golovkin, of course you're going to have all the Gennady Golovkin detractors and all of the war dick riders, and, excuse me, Lord, for cursing. And that's exactly what would happen. And then they would try to make a case out of it as, oh, yeah, he'll fight a lot of welterweights. But no. Okay? Floyd is always, he's been opening his mouth, running his yap, talking about he hasn't tested himself, Gennady that is. And Gennady has been testing himself, because to unify and to fight and want to fight guys that are holding titles is a test in itself. Floyd never unified. Floyd only gave up 4 to 5 pounds. He never fought a legit middleweight. So if anybody needs to be testing themselves, if they're going to come back for a 50, it better be a hard fought 50-0. And it better be against Gennady Golovkin. I mean, you're calling the man out. You're trying to defecate all over his legacy that he's you know, putting together. And it just shows a lot of hate and jealousy coming from you and your camp. So it is what it is. The prize fighter from Vegas needs to get his shit together and make up his mind. If you're going to come back for that 50-0 and it's going to be against Gennady Golovkin, you better go up at least 160, because we all know that's how heavy you walk around in anyway. So let's get it. If not, continue to promote and just gorilla glue your mouth shut. Now, Donito Donaire gave a good performance, but we can all see that he's done, man. And I would like to thank Nonito Donaire, should I say, for a great career. I mean, he's fought, we can say, the best in his division. He fought Magdaleno, which is a great young talent, and Magdaleno has a good future. Now, a lot of guys are saying that Nonito Donaire won that fight yesterday, and I have to totally disagree. He didn't. He let it go after the 5th. You know what I mean? He let it go after the 5th. Kept trying to land that one shot, and well, Magdaleno held up him in his highlights. Now, new WBO champ Zhou Shiming may move to 115 to face Chocolatito Gonzalez. Hashtag, let's get it. That would be great. I think that would be great for the sport. That would be great for us fans. It would be great for these guys' careers to test themselves that way. But Chocolatito Gonzalez has one road that he has to conquer fairly. He wants to prove to himself, and that was Quadros, if I'm not mistaken. He's got to take him one more time on a rematch. You know, he didn't have to, but he wants to give him the rematch, and that alone tells you exactly where Chocolatito Gonzalez is leading his legacy and where his gonads are. Now, I'd like to give a shout out before I close out. A special shout out. Peace to my brother and faithful member of Hashtag Come Back to Boxing, Dogzilla Paracruz. My brother, I promised you a shout out, and there you go, man. Thank you for following the movement. Thank you for being down with the movement. Thank you for your support. And everyone else, man. You know what I mean? Everyone else who loves the truth in boxing. Everyone else who knows what's going on. Hashtag Come Back to Boxing. Love you guys. And this has been your boxing news for the 6th of November of 2016. Let's keep it real. My name is J.Cotto, Thank you for joining my fight page. God bless. Stay vigilant. Peace.